Hello everybody and welcome back to Odin's movie blog. I am the critic who is a cynic. Hope you're doing well, and today I just first want to thank every single person that joined me yesterday for the 10K celebration live stream. We ended up going roughly about 5 hours, took about a 20-minute break, and then went back on to do our movie night after, where we watched Ferris Bueller's Day Off. Both of those live streams will be available on the alternate account, the Welcome to Asgard channel, so go ahead and click the eye above my head to get to the card to reach that channel. If you want to see vlogs, if you want to see the live streams in full, if you miss them, that is where they will all live. Also, I'm planning on doing more original content over there, dealing with non-movie related content as well. So if you like my thoughts on the culture, on news, on politics, things like that, that would be the place where any videos dedicated solely to those things will live instead of on the main channel. But anyway, I want to also say thank you to the people that joined me yesterday. So a huge shout out to Josiah Rises. So please give him a sub. I will leave a link to his channel down in the description below. Also, John Talks joined me for a bit. I'll leave a comment. I'll leave a link to his description. A link to his description. Yes, a link to his channel in the description below. And also, of course, a huge shout out to my Valkyrie, Tina, and Steph for just being amazing. They joined on the stream after about an hour or so and were with me for about an hour, and they were awesome. Seriously, like, they are an amazing group of people, and I just want to say thank you so much to Tina and Steph because you are just amazing. So thank you. And also Jeremy, who stopped by for a little bit to show his love, to show his support. And of course, Jeremy is an awesome, righteous dude, as we saw in the movie last night. But this video is going to be dedicated solely to Alita Battle Angel once again. So obviously I did my official review of the movie. I connected it to a lot of other things, but I just wanted to make it very clear that I think every single person who watches this video should go see this movie. I know that most people who've left comments on the video have basically said, yeah, oh my god, this was amazing. There were people who actually said, hey, I trust your opinion, and so I'm gonna go see it. And a couple of those people came back and said, dude, you were so right. I'm so glad that you recommended the film. And I know that this film is not going to be for everyone, so whenever I recommend something, obviously I'm not guaranteeing that you're going to like it. All I'm doing is saying, hey, this is how I feel, and this is the reason why I think you should support it. And the reason why, when it comes to Alita Battle Angel especially, that I think that you should support this film is because it's not getting a lot of love in the United States. This is a type of film, this is a type of adaptation, this is a type of visual effects driven film that is just not going to do well in the domestic market. As you see up here, for the weekend it made $27.8 million, which is actually much, much higher than they thought it was going to make. And for a $170 million budget, a lot of people look at this and say, oh yeah, it may have done better than they expected it to make, but it's still not making a whole lot of money, and so therefore this film is going to be a bust. Like, seriously, every single article that's been released about this film has been saying this movie is going to lose $200 million, and they've been saying this for the past like 2-3 weeks. It's interesting that they basically wrote off this film, said it had no chance in the United States, not even had any chance whatsoever overseas, and we're writing this off as a bust. We're writing this film off saying this is going to be a total and utter bomb. It's going to be the first major bomb of 2019. And what bothers me so much about that is the same people who are writing those articles are the same people who are saying, oh my gosh, Star Wars is going to be great, and Star Wars is going to make a huge amount of money, and Solo didn't lose as much money as you think it did. You know, they're the same ones that said, oh yeah, Solo only lost, it did lose money, but it only lost like 50 to 100 million. You know, ignoring completely the fact that it's closer to 200 million when you actually break down the numbers yourself. And on top of that, the fact that they're also the same ones saying, oh my gosh, Captain Marvel is you know, a heroic stand. It's going to make $100 million domestically in its opening weekend, and it's going to be so grand and so great, and it's going to break records. Even though they're the same people that said, oh, it was going to make 160, 180 million, and now they've drawn that back. Now it's gone down at max over 100, like almost $100 million, which is just absolutely insane to me. Like, seriously, the top number for it was 180 million. The low number for it now is 80 million. So you saw a $100 million drop, like, which is a significant portion, a significant percentage drop, which is just totally insane. And yet they are still defending it, still saying it's going to be a huge box office maker, and they're also going after Alita Battle Angel. And so the questions that we must ask ourselves, and I mentioned this on the stream yesterday, is why is it that they're going after this film? Why are they going after this movie? Why are they protecting Captain Marvel? And I've said this before. The reason why is because Captain Marvel fits their narrative. The actress is definitely on par with their typical SJW mindset, and so therefore we are concerned. We are worried that that is what the movie is going to be about. Based on the marketing, based on the source material, I would say that we have reason to be worried, because guess what? Most people do not want that. Most people instead want an Alita Battle Angel, but the reason why they're not going to see it is because, oh, the critics hate it. And it's just been really sad to see that happen. Like, I'll even go pull it up for you right now because it is still just staggering. So once again, you look at this score. 59% of critics like this is now considered to be a bust. This is now considered by critics to be rotten. When you go to top critics, it's even worse. For them, 35% of them actually like this film. Only 12 gave it a fresh rating, 22 gave it a rotten rating with an average score of 5.6. The average of all the critics was 5.9. So around a 60% on the scores. Compare that to the very, very different audience rating of 93% with a 4.5 out of 5 with 6,000 reviews. This film is beloved by fans of the manga. I've heard several of them speak about this myself. Also, this is just a movie that people who are movie fans are a fan of. I'm not anyone that ever reads manga. I was against this film for the longest time because I was looking at the effects, the eyes, everything. I was like, oh God, this looks awful. I don't know why this movie is getting so much attention. But then it just took a couple people saying, hey, just give it a chance. Give it a shot. It has no identity politics in it whatsoever. I saw it. I've now fallen in love with it. I feel like I'm on a campaign. That's why the video of this is going to be like, go see this movie. Go support it. Because seriously, I think that this movie is very important. I think this movie basically breaks the boundaries as far as what we're able to do with visual effects. The visual effects of this movie are spectacular. I think that as of the movies that have come out this year so far, if this movie doesn't win or get nominated for Best Visual Effects, I will be extremely ticked off. The fact that even seeing this movie in 3D, which is a format that I absolutely hate within like the bottom of my heart, I hate the fact that I loved it and the fact that I thought that it was well done. Like, if that doesn't sell you on this, if the people in the comments and the people on Twitter and everywhere else who are saying, go see this movie, support it, isn't enough for you, I don't know what else will. If anything else, maybe just let this be the motivating factor for you. They expect this movie and want this movie to fail, because if this movie fails, then it proves to them, if indeed Captain Marvel makes money, that, oh, you see, when you actually have a real female character written by a female and based off of a female writer's perspective and, played by a SJW woke feminist, that is what the people want. I guarantee you that's the story that they want to tell. They want to rip this story apart. Alita Battle Angel, because, oh my gosh, she has a romance. Oh my gosh, she falls in love. Oh my gosh, she falls in love with a boy. Oh my gosh, there's not a single person that is falling into any of the identity politics, Oh my gosh, they're not ticking off all those boxes and anything. And, oh, wait a minute. Oh wait, she's sexualized. Oh god, she's over-sexualized. People are actually saying that, even though she doesn't have a physical body. She literally is a cyborg, so there is no physical body to be sexualized in the first place. And yet they're complaining about that because they say, oh man, it's just a typical, the man's perception and the man's view of a woman and what the woman should be. Oh man, she has to rely on a white man to build her up and to make her strong, etc. That is what they are trying to say. That is how they are trying to tear this movie about, because they do not want her. They do not want Alita. They do not want this story to represent what in their minds should be the female narrative. What does fit their agenda? Oh wait, that's right. Brie Larson, who has gone on countless occasions to try and make it very clear how she feels overall. I mean, keep this in mind. She says, I couldn't think of a female equivalent, her talking about Harrison Ford's Indiana Jones. There was Sigourney Weaver in Alien, of course, but there wasn't enough of that spectrum of confidence and sass and a little bit of a mess, just a mix of everything. Women weren't allowed to do that. What was missing from that character? What was missing from Sigourney Weaver's character in the Alien franchise? Like, she had, yes, she was mostly a serious person, but she definitely had a lighter side to her as well. I mean, is it just because, oh my god, she was perceived as a mother? Oh my god, we can't have that. Oh, that's gender roles for you. Harrison Ford wasn't even, said to be a father until the very last one, which most people say is one of the worst films that has ever been made. So it's interesting that she uses that as an example, the Harrison Ford's Indiana Jones, saying there's no female equivalent. Even though there's plenty of equivalents that can be made, including one who is even better, and that is Alita Battle Angel. But what are they saying? Oh, Alita Battle Angel leads the weakest President's Day weekend box office since 2000. Oh, yeah, the female is #1 at the box office, and it's doing better than they expected, but, it's still a flop. It's still not going to do great. It's still going to be awful. Oh, yeah, the critics are right about this. Alita Battle Angel, the story struggles to keep up with its special effects, but fans of futuristic sci-fi action may still find themselves more than sufficiently entertained. These same people who, in the next few weeks, are going to have a 95% positive approval rating, certified fresh rating for Captain Marvel, and it's going to be, this movie is important. I guarantee you the consensus is going to mention something about the female protagonist and, oh my gosh, what it does for women. When in reality, what Captain Marvel is going to do, especially with Brie Larson behind it, is it's going to set women back. It's going to set women back because it's going to make it seem like you have to feel this way. You have to buy into the agenda. You have to buy into the woke, feminist, feminazi agenda, instead of actually seeing films for what they are, regardless of the person's lead, regardless of the gender of the person who's the lead, regardless of the person's background. And instead, oh, no, you need to support this, you need to support women, you need to support you need to support what she's doing, saying, no, I don't care what white men have to say, etc. That is what the norm they want to try and present. That's what Hollywood wants to make you think. They want to make you think that Captain Marvel is going to be the best thing since sliced bread because it's the first time that a woman's ever been a lead in a movie. Even though we have a movie right here where the main lead and the actress that plays her, who is spectacular, by the way, when any performer, and this is the reason why I'm putting her up there with Andy Serkis. And if you know anything about Andy Serkis, he is the person that brought to life Gollum. He's also the person that brought to life Caesar in the newest Planet of the Apes trilogy. She, to me, is very, very, very close to being able to match his type of performance. Her performance is so powerful. Her performance is so raw that even though it's all motion capture, even though her face is being filmed and it's being post-processed and everything just to make it, a digital look, to make it look not quite real, which they do beautifully, by the way, because it looks synthetic. She doesn't look real. Yes, indeed, it does not get across that uncanny valley because she does not look human, but that's also the point of her character. She is a cyborg. She is not human. The only human thing about her is her brain, which is something that you don't get to see. So it's amazing to me that they were able to do this and tell the story with it and make it look so damn good. But you have an example here of, indeed, a strong female character that has an arc, that isn't a Mary Sue, that has to, depend on other people. And yes, some of those people happen to be white men. Good God, we can't have that in today's age. But no, we can't support this, according to them. No, we have to hate it. This is a terrible movie. This movie's not going to make any money at the box office. And yet, it's number one at the box office this week, even only making $27.8 million. But here's the number that I want you all to look at. It's made worldwide at this point $130.8 million. It's made $131 million, and it hasn't even opened in China or Japan yet. This film opens next weekend in China and Japan, and if you are trying to tell me that a film like this that has made $94 million in the foreign market without even opening in China or in Japan, which are guaranteed to be its largest and its biggest producer of cash for this film, that it hasn't even, that it's almost at $100 million before those come in. If you're going to try and tell me that China is not going to just tear this movie up as far as how much people are going to see it and love it, if you're going to tell me that Japan is not going to make a huge splash on this film, especially since it's based off of a manga that people are going to want to see on the big screen, that are going to want to see, a comic character, a manga character that they've wanted to be seeing for a very long time, because apparently Alita is indeed a very well-renowned and very well-respected manga. Like, you would be kidding me in that instance. Everyone's saying, the production budget is $170 million. So there's no way that they're going to be able to make that up. And yet the same people continue to make excuse after excuse after excuse for Solo Star's story. They're the ones that said, it's going to break records. It's going to make so much money. It didn't lose that much money. It lost money, 50 to 80 million, but that's about it. Again, they made up crap like that when in reality that film lost $200 million. And yet this film right here, if it just makes $100 million in China and $50 million in Japan, this film will break even. Like, by the end of its run, if that's what it makes, and it does well, again, because also keep this in mind, look at this. It's only opened in a few markets. There are still plenty of countries that it hasn't even opened in yet. That's insane. This film is not going to do well in the United States. I guarantee that. This film might barely reach $100 million, but the way that happens, the way that the domestic market, changes, the way that we can influence it by saying, hey, we don't care what you say. We don't care what the critics say. We don't care what kind of agenda you have trying to push forward. We can't talk about Alita right now because we have to keep on talking about Captain Marvel and everyone's got to see it. We got to boost up those pre-ticket sales. The way that you do that is by supporting this film, going to see it multiple times if you can afford it, going to bring your friends, your family, and say, guys, go see this movie. Go see this movie. I can't make it any clearer than that. This movie is wonderful. I gave it an A- in my review. It's fantastic. And to me, this is everything that the woke media, that the woke Hollywood agenda does not want you to see, does not want women to be anymore. This is what they do not want the future of female heroes in films to be. And if that is not enough reason to support this film, if Brie Larson's, being a white elitist, college elitist personality, SJW personality, isn't enough for you to want to support this film, I don't know what else is. This film will break even. This film will make money at the box office, just from the foreign market alone. But let us show, especially for my United States people, let us show that this movie can indeed be successful here. But the only way that's going to happen is if you go out today and support this film. So Odin, talking to my Asgardians, I don't know why I said it like I was Harry Potter, speaking to my Asgardians, go and support this film. I don't do this often. You don't see me rally behind films saying, oh my God, go see this movie. I don't dedicate several films. I don't dedicate several videos trying to push anyone or time on a live stream to say, go see this movie. This is the first time that I think I've ever done that for this channel. Go support this film. I would say that there's a very high chance you will not be disappointed, because if even this cynical guy who hates 3D and hates CGI can fall in love with a completely CGI character, if even I can do that, I think most of you can too. But anyway, guys, what are y'all's thoughts on this? Have you seen Battle Angel? Have you seen Alita? Please let me know in the comments below. Also, please let other people know who haven't seen it yet. Hey, It's not just Odin here. It's not just these random accounts. This is a movie that is indeed good. This is a movie that probably should receive much more love than what it's getting. Let us prove the critics wrong. Go in spite of the critics. Go in spite of the Mary Sues. Go in spite of Brie Larson and of Captain Marvel and of the future to come in Star Wars Episode 9, which is just Canto Bight being mentioned in this article. It's great. If you have not seen these videos, yeah, John Boyega, look at that hair. Oh my goodness. But anyway, Episode 9 has indeed wrapped. Alita is just getting started, though. Thank you guys for watching. Go see this movie. It's awesome. I hope you all have a wonderful day. Please like this video if you want. Subscribe if you haven't done so already, and also share this video as well. If not sharing this video, then share the message. Go see Alita, especially if you're in the United States of America right now. Go and see this movie. I think this movie is going to be extremely important when we look back at 2019, especially since they are putting all of their cards behind Captain Marvel. They are saying this is the female warrior film that we want to represent what the future of female-led films should be. We want Brie Larson to be that hero. And I say, no. Alita is the hero. Alita is the true hero. So let's show her some love. Let's show her some support, because you know what? She's awesome. Thank you for watching, and God bless.